Fight Grind and Shine Recovery. Guys, we're going to talk about when I was growing up, in my teens, coming up, probating for an MC 1%er bike club, and, what really turned me against gangs from what I seen out of it and everything, and how I lost one of my best friends. So, guys, before we jump into it, hit that like, share, subscribe. This channel is more than just me, it's your channel. This is a movement showing addicts helping addicts can produce so much positive change. So let's jump into it, guys. Coming up, when I was a teen, me and my best friend, his dad pretty much was the president of a bike club, and he passed away when we were like 12. And as we got into our teens, we got into smoking pot and stuff around 13, and his dad had like a pound in the basement, and his mom, I guess, didn't know about it. It was down there, so on the weekends we would go just get a handful of weed, and we'd go out on the weekends, and his mom would have him and me, we'd go out to the clubhouse where his dad's buddies lived, and they'd let us hang out all weekend with them and everything, so we'd get to see these bikers partying, having fun, and women getting crazy, and we grew up in that atmosphere. So it really impressed on me, that people who was hustling and in that lifestyle had some type of power. Girls wanted to be around them. That's one of why my ambitions, I think went that way. But, the main thing I want to stress is, as much as it might seem like fun and everything, it goes downhill so quick. My best friend and me, we started off innocently, just wanting to make extra money, got into stealing stuff for these guys, bikes, Harleys, choppers, whatever, custom bikes, whatever they wanted us, they'd tell us where to go, where it was, and we'd figure it out. And we're 14, and we did this all the way up till I was 20 before I walked away from it. And we would go out on the weekend, get them some bikes, and we'd have fun. We'd be riding Harleys. We're 15, 16 years old, and we're getting to party with these grown men and women, and it just we embraced that lifestyle because it seemed so much fun. And we're young and dumb, and it went so fast into us getting involved in helping them, as far as them manufacturing meth and us having to help. And I seen the way it was going. I got pretty deep to where I was having to go down to Memphis and stuff to a clubhouse down there and meet with different chapters of this organization. And I started seeing how it worked and how these guys would get women so strung out. And I remember this guy had these girls, young pretty girls, running with him, and here he's a 4-year-old man, old biker guy, but he's keeping them high and keeping them hooked on meth and giving them pills. So I watched him trade them off to the other the prez of the other chapter, and man, it just that's really what turned my stomach. And I realized these guys would always help us out, but we were always in debt to them. So my buddy who stuck around and patched in and everything, I watched him. So my best friend, when when all this came about, we got it. He got pretty deep. He became a cook, and me and him were right hand man. So we got pretty deep together fast. And when I finally walked away, is because the stuff I seen and how dirty it was, and how dog eat dog. This brotherhood, supposedly, it's supposed to be a brotherhood, but yet it was dog eat dog. And it was definitely a gang. And I'm telling you, the things I seen, even after I walked away, me and my friend, he set me up at one point, and I thought he was going to try to kill me, and all because I walked away from something that got him brainwashed. But I didn't leave bad, nothing like that. I just never passed all the way in, and I kind of seen it for what it was, and I voiced my opinion to him a little bit. So, but yeah, everybody's got their own path in life, and if that's your path, that's up to you. But when I meet my maker, I want to have a clean conscience, and I don't want to be around people who's getting girls strung out and trading them off and all that, and just the using of people that I seen. So my best friend Joe Young, rest in peace, R.I.P. Great guy growing up. My best friend, he'd go on vacation with me and my family, everything. And so he got pretty deep fast because, by the time we were 17, 18, he's done learned how to cook. He's pretty much becoming their main cook. And when he starts catching these cases, they would bond him out and they would get him a great lawyer, but they'd set him right back up cooking dope again. You know, so they didn't really care. I mean, when he finally went down, I think he got 3 or 4 cases for manufacturing, and you know, he spent most of his 20s in prison, and he got to be such a, I mean, like I said, such an evil person and into this game. You know, I've seen guys get hit over the head with hammers. I've seen, I mean, just stuff that you never want to see, especially at that young of an age, man. It really affected me. That's why I'm sharing this. You know, my best friend, like I said, he got so sucked into this lifestyle to where, you know, me and him were like brothers, and then it got to the point where he didn't like, you know, my path, and, you know, we really fell out, and there was a point where I think he was going to try to attack me one night. I really believe he set me up, and, you know, I walked away that night because I knew if we fought, it was going to have to be, he was going to try to fight me with, he would use a weapon. I knew that, and I knew it was going to have to be really bad, me or him, and I didn't want that, you know, because I really, like I said, I love the guy like a brother. And, you know, he ended up doing quite a bit of time in prison. He gets out, and he's 30. He had MS, I guess, and I don't know if he OD'd or if he meant to kill himself, but I know he was, you know, really upset about the health problems. But man, he was a great guy. He had so much potential, and that's the thing is, like, you know, his whole 20s were used up by other people profiting off him. You know, here he's doing all the work, doing everything, and he's having to kick down a third at least, you know, to the to Club Prez. So it just seemed like they were using everybody, you know. And if you didn't have a use for them, or you're getting them what they want cheap, or helping them in some way, shape, or form, you know, they don't have nothing for you. And that really, it's one reason I never joined the gang after that. I realized it seemed like, you know, there might be some people who are, you know, there's a lot of loyal people and stuff, I'm sure, but, you know, my experience, you know, I want to have a clean conscience, and I ain't gonna, you know, I don't want to have to support another man's decision. So, guys, like I said, I wanted to share this just to let everybody know my background for one, and, you know, just to say, you know, people that some people might have thought were just, you know, felons that died, and, you know, that guy was just a lifetime criminal. He had so much potential at a young age, and such a good person, and the drugs can change you, especially when you get into meth and stuff like that. It's just a downhill journey for sure. Like I said, you know, I've seen pretty girls get traded off, and they're so strung out that they didn't care. As long as the next old man's gonna keep feeding that habit, they were good. And that's the truth of gangs, you know, at least a lot of them. There's a lot of dirty stuff that goes on, and I'm sharing this because hopefully some young person sees this, and, you know, don't get involved in something unless you're really, really down to support that cause and another man's decisions. You got to realize, does that line up with your beliefs? Truly, does it line up with what you believe? And I believe a lot of people, when you're young, you're dumb, you just see the fun side of it. You don't realize, you know, everything that it entails. And for my buddy, it was his whole, you know, most of his life went into, you know, profiting another man by cooking dope and having to do prison time for him. And waste of talent. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna put a picture up of Joe at the end, man. Like I said, one of the best dudes I knew, best friend growing up, and just sad, man. Loved him to death. But guys, I hope this maybe helps someone, man. Don't get involved in gangs. I know this might not be the most popular video, but hopefully it reaches who it needs to reach. I've realized I'm not here for the subs or the views. I just hope these videos reach the one person they're meant to reach. And I hope this grows to be, you know, a support network for people. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting me, you know, from day one. Nicole, from Real Talk Recovery, Merk, anyone who's gave me a shot. You know, I've had a lot of collabs. I've just been blessed with being able to get my voice out there somewhat. And guys, we're going to grow this. Grind and Shine Recovery. We put the work in, and you'll get the results. And I'll tell you what, it takes a lifetime, to get where we want to be sometimes. And, people think sometimes recovery's a poof and it's answered. And it's not. I've been on a journey since 2012, and I've had, my stubble holes through that time. I relapsed in 2014, and, I've been sober since March 23rd, 2014. But, some people debate medicated assisted treatment and this and that. I'm all about what's giving people a chance to live a normal, functional life. And, each person's path might look a little different, and that shouldn't matter to the next. But y'all, stay up, stay sober, and grind till you shine.